Hey, Lyle, man, silent majority. Welcome. I'm Us the Boss. Today, Tachikaze Vanguard deck. Outfitted with the new stuff. Let's get to it. First off, of course, your starter, Dragon Egg. For heal triggers, your Savage Shaman. For fun triggers, Savage Rowdy. For critical triggers, the Savage Aggressor. And Arcbird. Yeah, there's no Savage draw trigger yet. And even if there is, I wouldn't run it. It's not a perfect guard. Though I do like the Savage theme. Next for grade 1. Sonic Noah. This card, when it boosts or attacks, it gives it... Well, no, sorry. When it boosts the rear guard, you give the boosted unit a gauge. This combos with a card later, but well, this actually combos with a few cards. Well, not combos. It helps a few cards, and if you manage to connect with an attack that it hits or boosts, you pop one of your own units, and you draw a card, and you can gain effects off the pop unit depending on the popped unit. We're gonna get into one of those right now. 4 copies of Pelican Spine. This card does various effects when it dies, depending on the amount of gauges it has. If it has 3 or more, you get to activate all 3. So if it has 1, you soul charge a card. If it has 2 or more, you counter charge. In other words, you flip over a face down unit in your damage zone. Helps you with extending your place if you can. Or, pay for something later. And at 3 or more, you give all the charges this thing had to another unit. So basically, it dies. Oh no, 3 of these guys go to any of the other units. In other words, you get to give it... These things don't die when... Your gauges don't become undone. They don't go back to the drop zone. Savage Augur. What can I say? Counterblast 1, put a card under your deck, and gain 10,000 power. It's very good. Now, if only we got something that, surged or something, that would be great, because then you shuffle your deck. Yep. Off to grade 2. So now this is one of the... Well, actually, you can... Forgot to mention. When you use the effect, it can be on anything. Just be the stuff, the gauges this one has equipped. It can be any gauge, anywhere. You can only use it once, but there's a problem I'm going to get to with this card. And we will come to that with Attempt Mammoth. This thing, when it attacks, you take a gauge. If not, it dies. Mainly why he's here. Well, not the main reason. I have him here for his other effect. When he attacks, my opponent must guard with 2 cards or more in order to protect them. However, that doesn't guard them from intercepts or from the soul, Dancarian. But if they must call something from the hand, they have to call in order to guard this guy. So, yeah. 2 Savage Academian. Soul Blast, rest this unit, call a unit. So basically what I like doing with this is that, oh no, I spread my gauges everywhere. I have her here, example. Okay, I check on her. Nothing. There's a grade 3 in here that, changes that equips a gauge. So what I like doing is that, okay, this card's here. Counterblast, return a unit to deck, then using the effect of the Vanguard, put her under her, rest, Soul Blast 1, call, use the effect again. Maybe once per turn, but it's not like per unit, so this is like a fresh unit, even though it's already done the effect. Don't know if Vanguard says, oh no, the effect is still tethered to it, like Yu-Gi-Oh is. But, until it's noted, I'll be using this at 2, and I enjoy her at 2. Next, 4 copies of, you guessed it, Savage Raider. Call, put a gauge somewhere, and attack. Oh, you get to move your gauges around. This helps set up for your big play for later. 4 copies of the Savage, the Sweeper Crontanto, or I like to call him Scopa, which means sweep in Italian, which is why it's called Sweeper. When this guy attacks, he gains a gauge. And continuous, so this means during even your opponent's turn, he'll gain 5,000 for each equipped gauge. And if he has 3 or more, he cannot be targeted by your opponent's abilities. So if they say, oh no, I destroy your unit, sorry, they can't touch this thing. Well, as long as he has 3 or more. Which means he also gains that power during your opponent's turn. So 3 or more, this thing's hitting for 24. So if they want to run into this thing, they better have something strong enough. Also, it helps that with Sonic Noah, you call him, attack, put here. That's 2 gauges. That's kind of busted. If you pop something, you pop him. And if he has 3 or more, you move them and you get your effects off. Even more amazing. Or hey, you get a Sonic Noah off earlier, and then you give 3 of them to him. And then there's a Sonic Noah here. Boost. Oh look, 2 more. This thing just keeps piling and can't be, and is nigh indestructible. And now for my grade 3s. Now my grade 3s, I'm running 9 grade 3s. So don't judge me. Now that I like my grade 3s, I want to get this down to 8. I'm just running out of cards to place in, and I don't want to run a 4th of this because that's too much. Maybe a 1/3 of Academy in or something. I don't know. My grade 1s are fine. My grade 2s feel fine. It works. And I still haven't talked about him. I'm going to get to that now. So let's start off with not the weakest, but like the card I'm running the least. Opticalanto, or Opticalo. When he's placed, you give a gauge to a unit. And then if he attacks, not like in the same turn, you pick one. So you either call him and place it. When he's placed, you give a gauge somewhere. Or next turn, when he attacks, it's one or the other. You don't get both. You don't get 2 gauges like that. This card would be... It should be priced higher if that was the case. And if that is the case, I don't see this card often enough. In other deck profiles. Next up, SP, Dark Rex. You saw me pull this in the opening video. He gains 2,000 for each equip gauge everywhere. So it doesn't really matter. If you have like 10 equip gauges, he's gaining 20,000. Swing. And if he's in your drop zone, you discard 2 gauges and ride this guy as stand, or you can call him to rear guard. Comes in handy. And probably the guy that might injure the game, Savage King. When he attacks, give all gauges from 1 unit to this guy, and he gains 5,000 for each one. Put him on an Excel circle, you're fine. And now, 2 copies of Gigarex. I'm planning to run a 3rd because I want to ride him first. Because when he attacks, you give gauges to everybody. And I didn't read this. I was told this earlier. For each of your rear guards, he'll gain 5,000. Not each gauge. So basically, you don't have to give them gauges. You can just be like, attack, no gauges. I still attack for like 30,000. That's big. I didn't know that. But I want to ride him first at least. So I can get my gauges everywhere. And then like mess them around with this guy. Because then, for my final card, Anger Blader. So this is what I was talking about with this guy. Well, with this one and Academian. So, with these two, Ride, Axel Circle, Skill of this guy, Counterblast 1. Put a card on the bottom of your deck, 10,000 power to your Vanguard. His skill, put it under Academian. Blow up something. Her skill, Soul Blast, Rest, Call, another one. That's another 10,000 power going somewhere. And if you want, you could do this one more time and give it to another unit. Say you needed 3 attackers. And then what you do, you waste your turn in a way, like doing stuff to like destroy their field. But then you get like, what is it? Get the field of like 3 gauges on each person. So when you attack with this guy, you counterblast 1. You stand all 3 of them, and they gain 5,000 power each. So you attack, your twin drive. Oh look, front trigger. You're sitting pretty. Yeah, and basically you fudge the numbers with this guy. You call him. You attack with him first. You move gauges around. You give gauges to people. You call your heal triggers. You counterblast him with this guy. You mess around a lot. You call your stuff. You do your draws. You do your twin drive, and then you just stand again, and then you blast them. It's incredible. I've gotten the effect off a few times. I'm planning to have maybe 3 of each of these, just so I could see 3 of these two. Planning to have 3 of them, just because, like, I need to see them often, and if I'm losing these guys, if I wind up losing them to gauges or to the damage zone, I'm kind of wanting to find them again. Because I found out one time I rode him first, did a couple of things, didn't do much, rode him, and then I managed to draw into the second one, which gave me what I needed. So it's like, okay, I need to ride something twice, I'm gonna need to see it frequently. That taught me that, so I'm probably going to take out these 2 for 1 of each. And hope for the best. So yeah, so this is going to be my next set of videos until Sun and Moon come out, and then I'll be doing a Let's Play of that. And I look forward to it. And what do I recommend for Axel markers? Depends on when I hit grade 3. If I'm low on hand, Axel 2, which is going to be most of the time. Or, if I'm looking for advantage, I'm going to go for Axel 1. Because I don't want to be drawing into triggers. Well, actually, I wouldn't mind that. That give me, protection power. Say I draw a heal or whatever. But yeah, just be on the lookout for when you gauge a heal trigger or you lose a heal trigger to your damage zone. Just be mindful. And that'll be that. So, till the next time. Okay? Ciao.